I know military women have a lawsuit in court and they're suing to go into combat. You know, it's like, I need to have this baby and I need to go into the maternity ward and it's preventing me, so I'm going to sue to go in there. I mean, I don't know if they understand dying and death and so forth. I recall in the first Gulf War, the women who were there from Canada and America, they were far away from the battlefield. But when the fight started, they were scared and they were saying that we wish the men would come over and just keep us, comfortable and make us calm and assure us in the whole 9 yards. So like those who are afraid to die. Well, what has happened over the years? You have a lot of lesbians and all kind of stuff happening and people now, women are walking on the road like men. They're lifting weights, they're jogging, they're doing strength activities, and so they're walking like men. They're not walking and shaking their hips like, oh, look at that, They ain't doing that no more. They're walking like men, like stomping, you're hard to go and knock, kick some butt. And, but does that change how women are? What I'm thinking of, like if you put a whole set of women out there, 500, and the enemy catch like 50 of them, now you might use your war right there because you don't have to concentrate now on recovering these women, except you say after the war we'd get them. But these women, the parents and the relatives at home are going to be giving the politicians so much trouble that it's going to be such a distraction that you could end up losing that war. And maybe this is what the enemy wants anyway, for us to lose a war, so lose it so glaringly that we just go away. All right. But enter Adam Lance mom. And I have here on this picture here, this lady who is a part of the lawsuit that they want to go into combat. Now, when these ladies in combat and they come back home, what kind of women they're going to be? Can the husband say, if you don't do this, I'm going to kick butt here? She say, yeah, bring it on. Or, she's doing things now that, other women, you could talk to them in a hard way and saying, look, it doesn't get real dangerous now for you. You better stop it. She can say, well, what do you mean? I mean, the ultimate is death. She got her gun. She know that. Don't worry about it, man. She's just better than you, perhaps, because she might have been a military person, just a civilian. And what she can be telling the kids. Now, I said in another video that there was a student who was giving me problems in the school bus. And I took the time to go to his mom to say, look, I need your help because your boy is behaving outrageous and I'm just about to give him the referral that they're going to throw him out of school. And so she said that I say your boy jumping into stuff that don't concern him, somebody's going to kill him. She says that, man, I tell him to fight anybody that mess with him. And as a matter of fact, she's wondering if he's going to kill somebody. Well, to make a long story short, one day I was driving the school bus for the boot camp. These little criminal people, they have them boot camp so they can scare them away from crime. He was there. Now, I followed up to know where he's at today. He's old, of course. He's in his 20s, I'm sure, by now. And so I don't know what life he has. I don't know what he's doing. And I don't want to speculate. So when mothers are going to be telling kids with violence, I want you to kill them. When they hit you, take this gun and shoot them. And stuff like that. I mean, that was the men's role. We'll tell the children, man, especially boys, man, fight the butt, man. I show you how to fight. Mom is saying, I don't want this guy fighting because when you get his butt tore up, it's going to be my problem. Or if somebody kill him or he kills somebody, it's going to be my problem. But if the husband and the mom telling the kids, go for it, kill them, well, it's going to be bad, real bad. Because, mom's supposed to be the ones that make the life. Or, well, this ovum is alive and the sperm are alive. They just incubate this life and bring it to maturity, I guess. But they feel that we make life. And so they try to protect life. That's their role. They cook with food, they care about the health, they take care of this and that, and try to make a safe home for the kids to grow up and develop nice and so on. So when a mom is, as a military person, she has seen combat and killed some people and so on, I mean, what kind of mom she's going to be? Would she be the type of mom who would play little silly games with the kids, at their own level, right then, they don't have the better understanding of things and the trivial and so on. Or she's saying, listen, I don't want to hear this stupid stuff, and she'll roughen them up. Well, we see where parents now, women are putting kids into refrigerator and shooting them, and moms, that is, driving the car overboard with them and so on. So where this is going to end. But let me jump in here with Lancer, Mrs. Lancer. She now has this guy. She knows that he's mentally ill. She knows that they've called her to school showing that he's in a withdrawal mode here. He isn't talking to nobody. He's kind of sickly in himself. He's in serious trouble. Come and get him. And she understand maybe talking to psychologists in the school comes and all that, that is guidance. So now she's taking this mentally ill guy who has a diminished intellect, but they say he had a superb intellect because of the borderline autism. But his conscience, his will, and emotions are sort of not, you know, normal. And his will to do the right thing, his conscience to prevent him from doing evil, and his emotions for being, happy and get along with people, etc., are impaired. So, you're training a monster here. And so she's taking the right range and teaching to shoot. And again, when you shoot, then you always visualize a target, your enemy, and so on. But she didn't know that she was one of the people that he was targeting when he shoots them. So when he's going to go on his rampage now, he shoots her first, and then goes to the school and shoot the other 26 plus people. And so my point is that we have to start training women differently. I mean, there's always a point that you could start, anew. And what I'm finding is that many homes, many young marriages are dissolving because the woman doesn't know how to cook. Well, what about the man? Well, again, there we go. Let me just say that, give back women that role, seeing about the health, seeing about the cooking, seeing about taking care of the home, and the guy going out to clean the poop in the yard, kill the alligator, get that big snake in the yard, run the fox out to the yard, attack the bear in the yard and so on, the alligator too, and go there and deal with the bad men that trying to molest her and so forth, that touching her butt and so on. Let me leave those dirty jobs, going to war and all that, the real driving the big truck, the heavy, lifting up the heavy barrels. Let me leave that to the men because, I mean, women have the monthly sickness. They don't feel good all month. They get pregnant, and so they have to change the routine and can't do the things they've been doing. What about if we make them do things that they could still function all times? Because even when she's pregnant, she could still type and still be a nice nurse, so on, and give the men, because men now are choosing those feminine jobs, babysitter, nurse, little elementary school teacher. There's even a guy who knows about vagina. He's a gynecologist. And I'm saying, like, okay, you know what I mean? All right. And so that, we can avoid these monsters, because with evil in continuing to get strong and so forth. By the way, we should also work to ameliorate and to sort of limit this evil advance here, because evil can make you mentally ill. Now, there are several paths to it: faulty thinking, using drugs, as well as voodoo, or the various forms of evil could affect your mind to the place where you become like if you were a moron, like if you were born a moron, So we see here where a mom has been, and then what? The guy who did the Dark Night shooting in the theater in Colorado, his mom, she knew right away that that's my son, I'm sure, shot at the place. So it could be that she had information which, if she had shared correctly and done the right thing, maybe. I see this guy in Colorado as well as Lanzo, they seem to have mental problems. And I'm not sure why parents can, kind of dampen down their ambition. Son, we think that you could be a good gardener, learn to do things right and be careful with the weed eaters, and then the lawnmowers, don't get your foot cut off and so on and so forth. And teach them to do some things that don't call for serious intellectual abilities. And, maybe this would help a lot, because even Lanzo, they're trying to get him into college. I mean, like, this guy can't have elementary school. And as I said, his motive could have been because he had a brutal time in elementary school, so he went to get even with those kids who had more ability than him, who could have answered the questions without, fidgeting, without that getting red and heart pounding and so on. He went to get them, and the principal, for some reason, too, is a part of the equation. And when they get into higher education, education is very disconcerting. You read so many things that are just theories, just people's speculation and so forth. And if you don't have good guidance or a good mind to, and a good emotional level to handle that kind of thing, it will blow you away. And I know that if a child works hard and does work all during the summer and speed up and skip things, do a lot of homework, they could get ahead of the class and skip a couple of grades. But it seems as if, like, when they go to college very young, there was a guy in medical school. He was about 14 or 15 or 16. Well, I'd like to follow up to see if they have been extraordinary in the profession. And I doubt it because, yeah, and then it was hard on him because he has to try to speed up his own development to be able to appreciate older people's position and understanding and experience and so on. And rapidly moving through academics don't necessarily help him as far as his own development go, like his emotional puberty and all that stuff. They were 12. Well, of course, now puberty is at 8. But you see what I'm saying? We cause these problems. So let us take these shootings and try to help our kids, women, leave the violence and the shooting and the guns to the guys. Lastly, I know a woman in Oakland, California. She says she's a marks person, marks woman. She could shoot real good, but her marriage is in problems, and you have to decide. You want to be a good shooter, or you want to be a good mom, a good wife, and because I mean, the guy doesn't have to beat you up, so that you need to know to shoot to defend yourself. I mean, you could learn skills to avoid things. He's upset about something, just leave him alone. When he's trying to escalate it, you just stay quiet and just tell him it's okay, hon. Everything can be good. I mean, that's what wives are for, to compliment. When he's feeling down and want to kill, you be strong and show him that that's not the way to go. And when he's too zealous, he wants to do this, that, you show him like, hey man, let's be a little, calm down a little bit, man. Let's do this. You know what I mean? So I think that women could, be as significant because they're the ones who might start the Halloween thing to get these kids into the evil. So let women help these kids to develop normally, please.